Well, this was a lot more than I expected. The Haven was written by Suzanne Fisher and is about a girl named Sadie and the drama that unfolds when she discovers an abandoned baby on her way home from visiting her sister. I assure you, it wasn't my intention to read multiple religious books back to back, but I'm happy I did. The Haven encompasses everything that a book with a religious message should be. It's well written, it's compassionate, has lovable characters, and there's an undertone of forgiveness and love. And when I say I love all the characters in this book, I mean it. Sadie is a very strong female lead who grows and develops over time. She's well written, and even when she's flawed or in the wrong, you can't help but love her. Her sister, father, and their live-in housekeeper Fern are also just as realistic and compassionate. There are a lot of subplots in the story as well that are interwoven with the main plot, and for the most part are actually really well done. You have Will, the farmhand working on Sadie's farm, and his relationship with his father. You have Sadie dealing with gossip after she rescues a baby, and the people in her Amish community suspect her of having the child out of wedlock. You have Amos, Sadie's father, and his relationship with Fern, and of course his health problems. And then there's Sadie's sister MK, it's her nickname, MK, who has to house sit for an old man because she and some other boy decided to go on a fucking carriage race and ended up doing a little damage. Then, of course, with all of that, there's a bit of a love triangle between Sadie, Will, and Sadie's boyfriend Gideon. Never once did this feel melodramatic, despite the fact that it had multiple opportunities to delve into melodrama. That doesn't mean the story's without fault, and I will point out a few major ones. The first little minor one I will say, kinda nitpicky, is, obviously spoiler warning, if you're watching this review, I am gonna spoil some things. You find out that Will's father is Amish, or he was born Amish, and ended up being excommunicated because he wanted better for himself and was sick of living under the heel of his father. Well, Fern just so happens to know who Will's father is. I just found that kind of unbelievable. It's like, oh, this little woman in this random Amish community happened to know this millionaire doctor. Next, we have Sadie with this baby of hers. Okay, so she's given this baby to take care of, and she and her family decide to take it in. However, they never bother to call CPS. The story would have been fine. It would have turned out fine if they had. Maybe have the CPS person come over and say, we'll investigate, but the child's safe with you guys for the time being. And that way the child can still be in the community for the quasi-twist that happens later on in the book. My third grievance is sadly the biggest one. And, it actually kind of brought the grade of this book down for me. Once Sadie puts everyone in their place about, gossiping about her, making it sound like she's a hoe and all this, which was actually a really good scene, her boyfriend Gideon tries in vain to make it up to her by buying her cupcakes and making a bed for the baby. However, every time he tries to do something nice for her, it falls through and she just keeps getting angrier and angrier. The thing is, the plot of this relationship could have easily been fixed had Gideon just sat her down, apologized for believing the rumors about her, and explained himself. Instead, he bumbles through each incident, making Sadie hate him more and more, which of course leads to him eventually calling her out for not forgiving him for the mistakes he's made. The problem is, the main plot could have been fixed with a 2-second conversation, which kind of makes it hard for me to give this book anything higher than a B+, despite loving everything else about it. When your plot is so flawed that it lowers the quality of the novel, that's a problem. There's so many good things here, though, and that's what really gets me. Despite how the main driving force of this book is so incredibly flawed, there's a lot of good. You have Sadie and Will's friendship, the lesson about gossip and how it can destroy someone's relationship. But this book also speaks of forgiveness and the need to forgive others who've wronged you. It's really, really hard. I want to give this book something higher than a B+, but I can't. And I've thought about it long and hard. I read this book like 3 weeks ago, and I'm still wondering, should I give it a B+, A-? And I really can't at the end of the day. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and tweak my rating system just a little bit. I'm going to give The Haven a B+ with a high recommendation. Of course, this means that while it's not an A book, I do highly recommend it. If you like drama, if you like quasi-romance, and if you're not too afraid of religious messages, or if you like religious messages in your books, you'll definitely like this one. So I do have, as I said, I always have reviews coming out for you guys. I keep saying I'm going to review The Host, and it just doesn't happen. Maybe someday it will, but I have another book coming up that isn't The Host, so I'll see you guys later.